This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to video message number 29.
This is Beaverville. Come on in.
It's Bob here. I got a question.
You'll be salivating when you see it.
I woke up yesterday morning with a spring in my step.
Start later, please.
I could never know what the day was.
Fast forward ahead.
The Beezer.
Listen up, the ratings just came in for last month. We are number one. We just grabbed every key demographic. Super duper. That's nice. Way to go. Neato, gang.
Yes.
Boy, that is good news.
It is the 28th day of March, 2025. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Power Trip Morning Show. I just saw the weather. Looks like 70 today and 40 tomorrow with snow. What the hell? It's Friday, though. You know. I don't think Creasy's in today. I think he's off today. We're about to find out. But I do know Marnes and Marco will be here today. And our friend Toby Gardenhire, manager of your St. Paul Saints, and Derek Scharrer of the man who runs the Saints with his great team of people will be in today to play the initials. So it should be fun. Lots to get to. Let's get it started. Mark Pitta on song lyrics on the Power Trip Morning Show. Come on in. I am glad you're here.
I was just looking at music. Remember Tammy Wynette, country singer, big hit, Stand By Your Man. And what a great sentiment that is. Stand by your man. Relationships are hard. You got to work hard at it. There's going to be some rough patches. What was her next song? DIVORCE. Never go to lyrics.com because you'll be shocked at what you've been singing incorrectly your entire life. I used to sing Secret Asian Man. Don't fear the reefer. No. It is the dawning of the age of asparagus. Come on. Billy Idol. It's a nice day for a light sweater. It's a nice day for a cardigan.
Hate it when that happens.
The finish line is waiting.
Polish to me, but
Is on your side. You hear the distant thunder. There's lightning in your stride.
Welcome to the Power Trip Morning Show. It's Friday, March 28th. Johnny K is here. There he is. I'm Cory Cove. That's Chris Hockey. That's Meat Sauce Paul Lambert. It is Friday, so John Kriesel is here. Mark Parrish later. Marty Gellner later. $87,500 up for grabs with initials. Toby Gardenhire, the manager of the Saints, is playing initials today. Our buddy Derek from the Saints will be here. It's going to be awesome.
Huge. It's going to be huge.
Derek from the Saints is going to be here?
Yeah, and Toby Gardenhire,
I love that man.
Yeah, Derek's great.
Yeah, Derek's the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Johnny K, it's going to be a big day.
Yeah, Derek got a promotion a couple of weeks ago, right? Now I forget what his title is.
I believe he's president of Canada.
Yeah, that is correct.
Used to be a one of the coaches for my younger of the two stepsons.
No kidding.
No kidding.
Back in the day, yeah.
He's a great
Was he
dude.
abusive?
Wonderful guy. Not at all.
Okay, all right.
Like so chill.
Emotionally?
Actually, I was kidding. He was a tyrant.
I knew it. You can tell.
Yeah.
He does have that kind of personality.
Yeah.
He's the best. Is that how he got his role as president of Canada?
100%.
That's exactly right.
Fought his way to the top.
Sometimes you got to do it.
Zach just walked in here and said he kind of blacked out. He's like, that the drive from White Bear Lake to here was like a blink of an eye. Flew by.
Great.
That's every day.
But check this out.
I
It
swear
gets
to God,
worse.
that's every day.
It gets worse. So I'm like, oh, that's weird. I'm glad you didn't fall asleep at the wheel. And he's like, I might have. How long is the drive, Zach, from your house to here?
About a half hour, yeah.
30.
Jesus.
He said he raw dogged it. No music, no
that's not my thing.
no iPod.
He's
or
he's raw dogged it in his car
podcast.
before.
You went complete silence for 30 minutes. You're insane.
By the time I got here, I'm like, I had connected I have a Bluetooth thing in my car that connects to my aux port for my 2013 Impala.
Ooh, look
and, not trying to brag, but yeah, I had it connected when I got my car. I just never played anything through it.
That's the first thing I do if I'm driving 2 blocks.
No,
I put something on.
Yes.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, man, I can't have silence. I can hear the voices.
Exactly. Then you start talking to yourself, and I don't want to hear myself.
Even if it's the return of innocence, put something on.
Yeah, do that for 6 hours straight.
Yeah.
It'll
By the
change
way,
your life.
Banger.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Why not? Yeah.
Wow, 30 minutes
weird.
of silence. No wonder you almost fell asleep.
And I was like, I never dozed off. I was never like in danger or anything. I did realize like, oh my gosh, my exit is already here off of 100. And I'm like, that flew by. That was like a snap of the fingers.
I've said
It's
this
great.
before. I'll say it again. Sometimes I get to work and I check my car for blood. I don't remember driving here.
Yes.
And I'm afraid that I ran someone over.
I don't remember half that drive.
Yeah.
Boy.
I just got into like I don't know where I was.
Yeah, you were in the zone, but
which is dangerous.
Shine down would have helped.
This time of day, night, it's both early and late when we drive here.
Yeah.
Beyond idiots on the road. There's people that are. I had someone last week just pull out onto 61.
Oh, wow.
They had pulling out isn't a Creasel thing. On Highway 61, they had a red light and they just pulled onto 61 North. Cars had to swerve out of the way. Ridiculous. So they might have been dead. Just people don't. It's this time. They had to have been hammered.
It's because they're doing what Zach's doing.
Yeah.
They're raw dogging it and just
raw dog.
falling asleep at the wheel.
No, don't raw dog. This person was probably leaving a place that they had raw dogs.
Oh, I see. Yes,
got
it. Yes, that probably is true.
Zach, turn on the radio station.
Yeah.
Turn on some Shine
Turn
Down.
on the radio.
Yeah. This is a great time to do I'm normally morning to night, I'm listening to the fan. So if it's this time,
thanks for listening.
Or if it's the evening after 6 or 6:30, I have it on shuffle on my iTunes, and you hear deep cuts that you haven't heard in years,
like Return to Innocence.
Oh, Return to Innocence, slammer. But the best, and every time I see it on Instagram, and a million of those accounts post it, the infomercial with the Return to Innocence and all of those, I can never not repost it.
Well, kids will never understand that.
Yeah.
How awesome those compilations were.
So good. Where it's like, we're going to throw it back to a period of time where everything stands still. You're like, oh, that sounds so peaceful.
Yeah, and then that slammer comes on.
Yep. Just the sound of me on the toilet.
Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
It's
definitely the end of the innocence.
Correct. The first time I saw the band Churches live, they were unbelievable. It was at the Myth. But I just remember the crowd kind of standing around going like, I don't know what to do with this, though, this kind of music, right? Just because it's like, do we dance to it? Do we mosh to it? What do we do with this?
Yeah.
As Americans, I think we were confused by that band. Anyway, what are we supposed to do to return to innocence?
Go downtown.
That has to be a sex song, right?
Oh, for sure. But a gentle. You're not
like dance to it.
No.
Unless you're slow dancing like at a middle school dance or something. But you can't really dance to it. What do you do to that song?
Well, Corey, let me ask you a question. Are there any parts of you that are still a virgin?
Wow.
If you know what I mean.
Wow.
So that would be like the return to innocence.
That's right.
It would be like starting over somewhere or starting somewhere.
Your poor ears.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Is that the only part he's got left, in your opinion?
Yeah, that's a virgin, yeah.
Okay.
Well, hang on a second. Normally I would say my armpits are virgins, but I don't want to turn Zach on.
Yeah, correct.
See, he's awake now.
Yeah, there it is. Now he wants to run.
I don't want him to eye bleep my armpits for the next 3.5 hours.
I actually think the return to innocence, because it's two different paces, right? There's the slow, that could be your very like gentle, delicate lover time. And then when it hits the hook, where they're yelling, that's where you start dealing it out.
Yeah, you start just throwing the
you
moves.
can't help it.
Yep. Yeah. Just pouring the coals.
I think when it's just the easy part, I think you just do the Beavis and Butthead sway back and forth to it.
Do Chris and Zach have any idea what song we're talking about?
I really don't. I'm trying to
we
place it. I
played
have
it
no
before.
idea. Yeah, but I don't listen to you guys.
Yeah, good point.
I'm listening to KQ. I have no idea. Can somebody sing it to me? I don't know.
Sauce, it's problematic, but you do it.
Isn't it like...
Sing the background bit.
Oh, it is problemative.
No, you can do it.
Come on, sweet love.
No, I'm not going to do it.
No,
you can. You have to.
You just had it lined up.
Oh, yeah, hi, yo, hi. And then that lady just goes, the return to innocence.
Oh,
and then
nailed it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know, but I like it.
That didn't help much?
No. It's a commercial or is it a song?
Like the Lion
it's a
King
song,
theme.
but the commercial is for one of those compilation CDs back in the day.
Okay, all right.
And it was and it would show like a white horse galloping through the water on a beautiful beach. And the guy is just like, we're going to go back to a time where everything is peaceful and calm and stand still.
And then that banger.
What other songs were on that compilation of, stillness and relaxation and zen?
See, we can't play
wonder.
it. I will play it off air for you because there's another one that's just...
Was it Enya?
Enya for sure. There it is.
That's the commercial.
That's the commercial. Pure moods. Look at this.
Yeah.
I want to go... Look at that beautiful horse. It's a unicorn.
Music carries you.
Yeah, that's the song in the background.
I don't recognize
And then
that.
Sail Away, Sail Away, Sail Away.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Sure.
Enya. It's an all-new collection.
And
Pure
your rim.
Moods.
And your rim.
And look at just candles burning.
Oh, my God. Ademus.
I don't know. So there's Return to Innocence. Crockett's Theme by Jan Hammer.
Polanco by Enya. Far Walk With Me. The Promise by Michael Nyman. Tubular Bells.
Part
Sweet
1.
Lullaby by Deep Forest. I don't know these songs.
X-Files theme.
The X-Files theme?
Sadness.
Isn't Tubular Bells from The Exorcist?
Yeah.
Look at this. Back $17.99 for the CD.
That CD.
The cassette was offered too.
Oh, so yeah.
Just
Pure Moods.
Yep.
P.O. Box 444.
Yeah.
plus $4.95 shipping and handling.
Of course.
To Pure Moods in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Not available in stores. Do you remember those times? You'd have to just quick write down the number.
Oh, yeah.
I did it. The first ones I did it with was, of course, Girls Gone Wild.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
then
man.
didn't realize because I had just turned 18, first credit card, and which was great. That was the start of good credit. I was responsible with it. Didn't realize though that it was a subscription. There was stuff thrown. I was like, this is beyond wild now. This was
Like once a month you'd get a video?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Multiple. And there was some hardcore stuff. Like not Spice Channel, not Skinamax.
Oh, yeah.
This was, if you're familiar with the channel Private, greasy.
No, it sounds greasy.
So you were saying as a consumer you were upset because you were not prepared for that level of vulgarity?
Well, let's not get carried away.
Yeah.
I mean, upset might not have. I was a little bit taken aback for
You
a
sounded
moment.
angry.
It sounded like you got over it pretty quickly.
Very quickly.
I will not stand for this.
Yeah, that's gross.
What in the? I'm sorry. As you're telling the story there, I'm looking at a trailer for a movie called One Battle After Another. The trailer just came out 18 hours ago. It's got Leo DiCaprio in it. How in the world have I never heard of this movie?
Was this the movie about my first marriage?
One Battle
That wasn't
After Another.
Battle.
It's a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. That's a good sign.
I
Leo
feel like
DiCaprio.
it's now they do such a terrible job of getting the word out about new movies.
Yeah.
Because this looks
it doesn't
like it's
come out
theater.
until September.
Oh.
So maybe this is just the start of
Still,
it.
you would think that I would have heard of a new Leo movie. He's the baddest.
Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro.
There's Benicio. Oh, he
What
just
is
jumped
this
out of a moving
about?
car.
That did not look comfortable.
No, it didn't.
Paul Thomas Anderson written, directed, and produced it.
PTA's the
directed, and produced it.
Yeah, he's
There's some
great.
karate.
He's really good.
Ooh, about to throw some boots.
Okay, somebody's get some boots thrown. But this looks like,
She needs to put. She's shooting from the hip.
yeah, why is she shooting from the hip? She ought to know better.
She's training to fire an M16 or M4 and doing it from the hip. That's not going to work.
The last line of the Wikipedia page for this movie, One Battle After Another, is the film is scheduled to be released on September 26th of 2025 and will be the first of Thomas Anderson's films to be released in IMAX. It was previously scheduled to be released in August of 2025, and according to Variety, the film will need to gross $300 million to turn a profit.
Good Lord.
So we just saw this with Snow White too. They're still swinging big in Hollywood, but man,
they might want to start getting the word out then.
What the hell is, what else is, I can't remember. What else has Paul Thomas Anderson done?
Didn't he do your, what was the movie about wine? But didn't he do that
he
movie?
did that?
Yeah, he did that.
I don't know.
Licorice
Sideways?
Pizza.
Sideways, yeah.
Sideways, fantastic.
I don't know if he did Sideways though. Hang on a second here.
God, look at all these movies I've never heard of.
He did There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood, The Master,
Oh, he did.
Inherent Vice, Phantom Thread, Licorice Pizza, Boogie Nights, Magnolia.
Speaking of Leo, though, you guys had said once I have 1 hour left of Django. Busy week. So I did not picture him playing that part, but he is excellent at it.
Absolutely.
He sells it because I spent about 5 minutes distracted and I had to rewind it because I wasn't listening to him. I was just observing and being like, this is such a bizarre role for him.
Yeah.
And the gals he's around are far too old compared to what he normally likes, I think.
Yeah.
Ridiculous movie.
Crazy.
My God.
And honestly.
Then I will have my top 10 list done for next week's show.
Fantastic.
Sweet. 4 Westerns. But my God, I didn't want to power through it because that movie deserves us so good.
The end of it.
Uncomfortable right now.
Oh, yeah.
Very
and
uncomfortable.
Again, how, kind of gutsy for Leo DiCaprio to take that role, right?
Yep.
Because he's not the good guy.
People need to see that, though, just because that's a good reminder of some bad times.
Yeah.
All right, rough day, I should say, /night for our 2 local hockey squads, our college squads. But our pro squad kind of surprised everybody, so we'll talk some hockey later. The NCAA tournament still continues. Twins got off to a delayed game and then a bad start. Lots to get to between now and 9 o'clock. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
Spring is in the air, and at Minky Couture, we're celebrating this joyful season with warmth, love, and the softest, coziest blankets. Whether you're cuddling up after an Easter egg hunt or gifting a little extra comfort to someone special, our luxury blankets make every moment even sweeter. From our Minky family to yours, Happy Easter! May your day be filled with love, laughter, and all the cozy moments you can dream of. Visit us online at minkycouture.com or stop by one of our stores to find your perfect Minky hug today.
KFAN.
Hey, dee chew the gum. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, everybody.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Anybody watch the studio yet?
Not yet.
Have not yet, no.
Okay, fine.
What is the studio again?
It's a new show on Apple TV with
Seth Rogen.
It looks
it's
great.
really, really great. Really great.
Right on.
Great. Hey, baseball tonight. St. Paul. Be there or be square. St. Paul Saints tonight.
Oh, no kidding?
Or this afternoon, yeah.
So Toby's coming in on a big day?
Yeah, today's the day, brother. Yeah. Today is the day. And I believe first 1,000 people get a Saints windbreaker for freezes.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I was thinking yesterday about what am I going to ask him? You know what my number one question is? And I don't think this is a sensitive question, but I wonder if it matters if he wins. You know what I mean?
Because they have so much.
Well, because there's so much turnover.
Yeah.
And, ultimately, if the prospects that are climbing the ladder on their way to the Twins are developing, if they're doing well, does it really matter if they win? Because, again, as a fan, when we go to Saints games, it's about the vibe and the atmosphere.
Yeah.
I have never for 1 second cared if they won or lost. It was just the kids are having fun.
Yeah.
It's a nice day. It's the vibe. So as a fan, I couldn't care at all if they win.
thing.
I wonder if like the Twins or the team, even in general, is like, Toby, you've lost 4 of 6.
Right.
It's like, yeah, but I'm developing the talent the way you want me to develop, and what else you want me to do?
And at
I
that
wonder
point,
how much that matters.
At AAA, a lot of times too. How many times is it basically rehab stints where they're borrowing all the people that are ready to go back to Minneapolis and be with the big club?
Sure. I mean, you would think if all of the prospects are playing well, then by definition you're probably winning. But
sure. But for how long? Because then there's turnover. You do want turnover because it means you are developing.
Right.
Yeah.
Then those guys leave for the big leagues, and then your team should be a little bit worse.
Yeah. So opening nights tonight, 6:37 p.m. First 1,000 fans through the gates get a powder blue and red Saints spring jacket.
Man, the weather looks like it's going to be perfect.
I know. Plus post-game fireworks. Tomorrow is supposed to play at 2:07. I know. And again, the first 1,000 fans through the gate get a different color Saints spring jacket tomorrow. So get yourself a jacket.
Yeah, that's
You're going to need it tomorrow.
And then go tomorrow and get another jacket.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's blue tonight and then red tomorrow. And then we're doing a group field trip to Los Angeles. And we're just going to walk through the streets of Compton.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Waving at people that like baseball.
And they give you a Saints bandana to hang out of your back pocket.
Right, whatever
too,
color
right?
you got at the game tonight or tomorrow, and then you just wave to other baseball fans and say, "Hello, good morning, everybody,"
That
and
should
see
be
what
the
happens.
Charge Challenge.
Oh my
Poor Zach.
Yeah, I'll go back to Fallujah.
I wish you would go back to the war.
Thanks, Chloe.
Such a good
Oh.
So good.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Cory?
Yes, sir.
From a lovely listener. I won't say their name. My mom was a nurse for 40 years. There's only one story that scars me to this very day. She had a patient who was badly constipated. He'd ridden a bus from Deadwood to Minneapolis. Naturally, she asked him what he ate. His answer?
Sunflower seeds.
Seed and all. Or shell and all.
His poor rim.
After admitting him and giving him an enema, the scene that followed can only be described as such. Vesuvius erupted.
Ooh.
And my beloved mother went from nurse to sunflower seed covered villager from Pompeii.
This is brilliant writing.
Yeah, this is so good.
Please tell Cory to reconsider his life choices.
Well, I'm not going to crap on his mom.
No, probably not. But eventually it will plug you out. There may be a giant mass
Yeah, correct.
of sunflower seed feasts.
You wish.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Why would he wait? Well, I mean, his dad does.
Like when you talk
there we
about
go.
hiring zero res to clean out the vents.
Yeah.
You
Get
might
the old
want to
air
hire
duct system.
him to clean out your rim.
Yeah, you might need that.
You have a greasy rim.
Wonder what they would charge for that.
There ain't no grease on the rim because ain't nothing coming out. Let's be honest. When's the last time you pooped? Be honest.
I had sunflower seeds 3 weeks ago.
I think Hawk's right. I think it's like...
You don't think I've crapped in 3
No,
weeks?
I think
don't
you
look like you
have.
have.
But I think it's also like that just thing of plastic floating in the ocean. It's just in your system.
So you think whatever I have ejected in the last 3 weeks just worked his way around and be like, good luck, buddy.
Yeah.
We're on our way out, but we'll see you later.
Thank God we didn't
obvious
get
to me.
attached to that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So they have to evade it and just kind of dodge it. And all right, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. It's like Lemmy Winks.
Sure.
Yeah. So just
Lemmy Winks was going the other way, though.
Yeah. I don't think I understood the concept of that episode.
I think you did.
Yeah. No, great episode.
So I don't know. You know, when it happens, please let us know. Call us from the
It
hospital.
sounds painful.
Yeah. Ugh.
Just splattered, huh?
Oh.
The gates of... I did that to a nurse at Walter Reed on accident.
God.
That was when I had a colostomy bag.
Hawk's dad wants to work.
And
No, why would he want to work?
I had...
Poop done.
It was the weekend, so it was kind of
Looks
the B
fine by
squad.
here.
Still amazing, but I had acid reflux. So she was like, take some milk of magnesia. And I was like, all right. She obviously knows more than me, so I drank it, and that's also a laxative.
Damn right it is.
And it didn't help with the reflux. So I pressed the call button. They came back, and I was like, didn't work. So they said, how about one more? I was like, all right, fine. Sounds good. She left. I took a nap, woke up and I felt this tightness on my stomach where the colostomy bag was. And it looked like it was about to explode. And I pressed the button. They're like, yep, Sergeant Creasel, can I help you? And I was like, she's going to blow. And they came in and they were going to like put me down because I think they thought I was having a war nightmare.
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh my God. And you could feel the seams about to burst. Well, then in panic, she like unhooked the top and it just was spraying.
Oh no!
Like straight up all over me, all over her. Instead of undoing the end. And she's like, I don't know why I didn't undo the end. As I sat there looking like I had been in one of the Tough Mudder runs.
I think that's
just
crap.
covered. One of the just peaks of my life.
Lordy.
Oh, and it smelled like hell.
Oh, I bet. I bet it did.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah. Great morning.
What a day.
Great morning discussion here. Huh?
Hey, Hawk.
Yeah.
How many years did your dad work at Walter Reed?
I didn't ask it.
You thought it.
I mean, I did, but I didn't ask it. It's
The
new
listeners
me.
are so confused because they thought that was your voice.
Yeah, I thought it was my voice for a minute.
I know. Been working on it.
Well, you're good at it.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let me ask you a question. Can I ask you a question?
Of course. Is it about...
Let's say you're home alone, okay? Mm-hmm. And you have this leviathan of a sunflower seed dump come out your backside.
Open your eyes.
Yeah, and you need help.
Mm-hmm.
Your family's unavailable.
Why would you need help?
Like you're laying on the ground because it hurts so bad and you're bleeding.
But you just said it's out.
No, but it's like bleeding and you need to stop the bleeding.
We got a
right?
bleeder.
Just play along.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Who would you call out of all of us if you needed
Why
help
would
with
you
your
call
bleeding?
The answer is none of you. I mean,
But what if like the emergency line was down and you had to call somebody
the
you work
emergency
with?
line is down?
Who do you call?
The red
I just
phone.
want you to know.
Even though it would be super embarrassing, why wouldn't I call one of my neighbors and be like, I'm bleeding out of my a-hole to
they're all
death. Help
with-
me,
They're all
please.
with your family unavailable. They're all on a cruise. They can't answer.
went on a Caribbean vacation
Yeah, but-
without me?
Yeah, they don't want
I'm
you
the
there.
only one in the neighborhood left.
Yep, and you have a bleeding rim. Who do you call?
He would say, Alexa, play Return to Innocence.
Yeah, and then
Well, first of all, again, if the whole neighborhood's gone, then I'm at the card room. So this bleeding would
Okay.
be at a card room
so
bathroom.
you call PA.
That's a bad look.
Right.
That's not good. That's a tell.
That's not good.
So out of the four of you, who would I call?
Anybody you work with in this building,
Bluffing
who would
and
you
bleeding
call?
and wondering why.
Brilliant. Genius.
Just answer the question.
Well, this is dark, but no pun intended. I'd call Abbott. It wouldn't be the first fan member's ass that he's seen.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
And Abbott would be all business. He'd be like, well, God, fine.
Yeah.
Is that part of the interview process here?
I think so, right. Eventually, he's going to see everyone's ass.
Yeah. He had to go,
Against his will.
Dark Star, yeah. Who out of the four of us would you call?
Oh, man.
There's a right answer.
Creasel's the right
Correct.
answer. Yeah,
Correct.
you've been through it all. You've seen it all. You don't care.
And Creasel, if you said to Creasel, this can't go on the air, he'd go, all right.
Yeah.
If Hawk and I came to get you,
Well, do you remember-
we'd go Periscope on it.
I don't remember what caused this, but you remember, John, this was probably, God, I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago. I went down to, I felt like ass. Went down to the bathroom, and I don't remember what color I had bled, but I came back and I was like, John, this is weird, but I'm going to ask you. Same reason. I'm like, I think you know and probably have been through some of it. And I remember saying, like, I just did blank, and you were like, well, if it's black, you're fine. If it's red, it's the opposite, right? So if it's red, you're fine. Black, you're in trouble.
Right, because then it could be higher up in your...
Got it.
In your
So I remember, like, panicking. You're like, you're good. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
Once in a while, you'll have, like when I unleashed that 18-incher up at deer camp.
Yeah.
I mean, that had a streak in it because I'm not accustomed to... Yeah. The Loch Ness Monster came out.
Go on.
So that's fine because it's red because you might have, the rim isn't used to that.
Got it.
Whereas upper, you could have other bleeding issues in your stomach or whatever else. That's the way it was explained to me at the old...
I just remember thinking, I have to go to the hospital. This is terrible. Something's wrong. You're like, you're good.
And you were good.
You were right. I just was freaking out, but I asked the right person.
When you told us you had blood coming out the front side, Hawk and I laughed.
Even I laughed.
Yeah.
Zach said, prove it.
Good. If the security guard at the auto show hadn't been like, you need to go to the doctor, I wouldn't have. You guys were laughing.
Yeah,
That guy was like, no, go to the doctor as soon as the show's over.
Yeah.
Front page sports after this Power Trip Morning Show on The Fan.
Spring is in the air, and at Minky Couture, we're celebrating this joyful season with warmth, love, and the softest, coziest blankets. Whether you're cuddling up after an Easter egg hunt or gifting a little extra comfort to someone special, our luxury blankets make every moment even sweeter. From our Minky family to yours, Happy Easter! May your day be filled with love, laughter, and all the cozy moments you can dream of. Visit us online at minkycouture.com or stop by one of our stores to find your perfect Minky hug today.
Down to Tom's Watch Bar in Minneapolis next Thursday and join the Power Trips Meat Sauce for a KFAN Wolves watch party. We'll have Timberwolves versus Nets live on the big screens. Delicious food and drinks and your chance to secure exclusive KFAN swag and a chance to qualify for Wolves season finale tickets. Get all the details at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
That's very exciting.
Oh, that's Sauce.
Very exciting.
Go see Sauce next Thursday.
That'll be great, man.
Yeah.
You doing comedy this weekend there, Saucer?
I am next Friday.
Could you do a little before that, please?
Yes, I can. I'll do it during the show, yeah.
Thank God. All right, should we do front page sports?
Sure thing.
Time now for Front Page Sports, presented by Holiday Station Stores.
Holiday Station Stores, the bakery meal deal is the way to go. A couple of ring donuts and a medium hot coffee. Find the old bakery meal deal for a limited time at Holiday.
Great deal.
Although even when the deal is gone, you can always get donuts and coffee at Holiday. It's awesome. I don't think I've ever had a bad donut there. I've talked about that a couple times this week. I don't know if there is a bad donut at Holiday.
No, there is not. No such thing.
No. All right. We don't lead with college hockey almost ever, but man, a couple of heartbreakers yesterday for the state of Minnesota. First one was Minnesota State. They lost in double overtime to Western Michigan 2-1, Zachary. Heartbreaker, so they're out. Also, in overtime, the Gophers lose to the University of Massachusetts 5-4. Extra time for both squads, and it goes the wrong way.
Great effort by the Mavs. Came a bounce away from the final 8, and for a program that's gone through a transition with new coaching staff, they're keeping the momentum and have built a wonderful program down there in Mankato. Congrats to them. Which was a better result, but that's how it goes. And for the Gophers, nuts and bolts, they got screwed.
How so?
The officiating, for different reasons throughout the game. Part of it was the Gopher goaltender late in the third period had an issue with his equipment, and it doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen every once in a while. And usually they'll give you 3-4-ish minutes to let the goaltender fix whatever the problem is. And
because it wasn't anything that they could have done on purpose to try and stop the game.
And there was no reason to do it. It was just it was a routine thing that happens from time to time. And by the way, this is not even like a Gopher bias thing. They spent in the intermission between the third period and overtime. The ESPN crew in the studio back in Bristol spent like 5 minutes on it, saying how ridiculous that the officials just basically said, no, you need to send your backup out there. So Gophers sent their backup goaltender out there, and the first shot he sees, it goes in. And then after that, they bring the original starter back out there.
No warm-up, right?
No warm-up.
For the backup.
It was absurd how they handled that. And then in overtime, blatant trip. It wasn't even close. Right through center ice on UMass. They get the puck and go right down and score. Like it wasn't a missed call. It wasn't like, in the corner of your eye. Yeah. It was at center ice between two guys that should have raised their hands. They were, for whatever reason, if it's cowardice, if it was whatever it was, they saw it. They saw it.
Yeah.
And they didn't call it. And it ended up being a immediately a odd man rush the other way, and UMass capitalized. And I feel terrible that these kids for the Gophers played, worked their asses off for, all these months to get to this point. And, it doesn't mean that they would have won if they made that call, but it does mean that they lost and their season ended prematurely because two people didn't do their jobs in Fargo last night, and absolute shame. So
I got this from Kevin Fallness. Apparently
listen to this.
The Wally Shaver
Oh,
call
man.
at the end of the game.
So good.
Here comes Kesley. He carries the center. He's tricked. How do you not call this? I know it's overtime, but for crying out loud, he's got the puck and he's tricked. Meanwhile, back comes Mass. They shoot. They score! Oh, my God. What poor officiating. Kesley's trick falls down. No penalty is called. UMass immediately turns it back up ice, and they score in overtime at 4:49 and win the game.
Which is worst case scenario, because you understand if it's borderline.
Yeah.
And I'm not in an. I'm not
like
going to
Zacho
even
said, if it's like in the 100%.
And I'm not going to pretend to be an X's and O's guy. I saw it's very clear.
Yeah,
it's very clear. Stick up high around the waist. Down he goes, right in them, and immediately turns into a goal. So in the process of them trying to, and not defending them, but they probably were like, let them play a little bit.
Yes.
It ended up actually completely affecting the game.
There's a time and place for that, and like soccer's got like this advantage system where like you could, get called for a penalty, but they will let the play keep going if it's advantageous to the team that got penalized. But if you're tripped and the one thing, the puck just continued and went into their zone, that's fine. I guess it's not great, but at least But when the puck gets turned over and that trip directly results in a clear advantage, a numbers advantage the other way, unacceptable.
It was a pick six.
I mean,
basically.
it was. I just can't believe it. So rough night,
and that's it.
And
They're
that's
done.
it for Minnesota teams. Both the two Minnesota teams are out and have fun in St. Louis, whoever gets there. And hopefully, the officials don't play as big of a role as they did last night.
On the flip side, a nice little surprise that the Minnesota Wild beat the team with the best record in the NHL, Alexander Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals, 4-2. And if you saw it at the end, it was really cool. It kind of went semi-viral in the sports world that Alexander Ovechkin basically called some of the Caps back onto the ice and was like, no, let's get in a line. Let's give the old dap up to Marc-Andre Fleury. It was pretty cool. So
that's awesome.
That was great.
And,
yeah.
And most of the guys were still on the ice, but the 3 or 4 or 5 that had gone up the hallway, Ovechkin was like, hey, wait, let's do that. It was really cool.
He seems like a good dude. He was out at Billy Sushi.
Yeah.
Great spot.
On Thursday, yeah. Yeah, that was a great moment, Zacho. That's fine. You always say it, but hockey's sweet, man. Stuff like that's great.
Yeah, it doesn't happen like that in other many other sports, and to have that, to have one of the best player in the game basically right now, to honor Fleury. It's so weird. We take it for granted now, but Marc-Andre Fleury, who's here playing for the Wild, he is a legendary player, one of the best ever, and what a night it was for the Wild
Huge win.
to get two very crucial points. And it just shows you, Jonas Brodin, who has been out, played a major role in last night. There's these major players, and, the entire time you got Joel Eriksson Ek and Kirill Kaprizov up in the Paris seats next to...
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
How close have you heard? Are we getting
they
to
did skate the other day.
They did.
There's your Diet Coke, by the way.
There it goes.
Just dumped out the window.
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't think either me or Mark should have been up there personally, but I'm not the coach.
Well, let's not do revisionist history.
But
take a deep breath.
The fact that we have these role players still out, and it just shows you what the difference. Foligno came back, played a role. I mean, this is a very good team when they're healthy. They've just been completely.
Well, let's see if the stars align. Maybe they can get things right in time for the playoffs.
I
Maybe
think
they'll
so.
figure it out.
Yeah, I think
it's our year.
The Sweet 16 last night continues to be all chalk.
Yeah.
Florida, Duke, Alabama, and Texas Tech all moving on. So all the top seeds in the 4 games from last night advance. Duke rolled Arizona, a 193, despite Love scoring something like, 35 or so. Florida won by 16 over number 4 Maryland. Alabama broke an NCAA record by hitting 25 threes in a 113-88 win over BYU. Previous record was 21. They hit 25, including 10 from Mark Sears.
John Calipari coaches Arkansas. He was, as a head coach, 35-0 when leading by 6 at halftime.
Jeez.
In the tournament?
No, in the tournament, yeah. Yep. They were up with 10 minutes to go in the second half. They were up 61-45.
You mean 51-45?
No, Arkansas was up 61-45.
So they were up 16.
Yeah, 16, yeah.
Jeez.
And it's the second largest comeback ever in the Sweet 16.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yep, Texas Tech won in overtime 85-83.
But to your point, it's all chalk. All the good teams win.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know if it's just like an anomaly or coincidence, or if this is a direct NIL pendulum swing towards we're going to see fewer and fewer and fewer long shots and upsets because all the top teams have all the money. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe this is just a weird year. Don't know.
Seems like there was some controversy with the seeding, and that's kind of been the upsets weren't huge upsets, or as big upsets as they looked like.
Yeah, all 4 number 1s are still in there. I think, are all the 2s except for St. John still in?
Yeah.
I think that's the only 2 that's out, I think. Anyway, we'll do What Really Matters. No Mr. Z this week, but we'll talk to him next week. But we'll do What Really Matters after this. Parrish a little bit later. Marnie a little bit later. About an hour from now, Toby Gardenhire of the Saints rolls in. He'll play initials at 8:15, and one of you has a crack at $87,500. What Really Matters next on The Fan.
Good morning from the Power Trip. And thank you for listening to The Fan.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
Fan. Join Muss and Miller Lite at Jimmy's in Vadnais Heights next Thursday from 5 to 7. Stop by for your final shot to register for a chance to win a spot in the Vikings Foundation Golf Tournament. Get the whole details at KFAN.com. Make the keyword golf.
That liner could be like, join Muss and Miller Lite at church on Tuesday. Join Muss and Miller Lite at Valley Fair.
Yeah.
When is he going to start doing appearances at his garage?
Join Muss and Miller.
Right. Yep, I know what you were going to say.
We've already been texting about golf.
So I'm saying he's ready, baby.
It's right around the corner.
Yep.
I love golfing with that dude.
He's a good dude, man.
Such a good dude.
All right, let's do What Really Matters.
All right.
Please.
Can I tell you this real quick, though?
Sure.
Don't you get used to these summer-like temperatures. It's going to be a beautiful day today. 70 today. Tomorrow, rain, 40, maybe some snow tomorrow night. Woo! That'd be a hell of a drop.
The poor Channel 5 meteorologists, they air like in the second intermission of the Wild games, they air the forecast.
Sure.
And just the loudest boos you've ever heard when they showed the 7-day.
Because it's their fault.
Yes.
I love it. Most of them get it.
Yeah.
Most of them get it. Chris Schaefer will always be like, I know. It's not my fault.
He's great.
He's the best.
Double deuces, everybody.
Yeah. That would be funny.
It would be.
All right, let's start with Wild News presented by Catalyst and CatalystSupplyCo.com. Thanks, Catalyst. Boost your build with Catalyst. The Wild won 4-2 over the Capitals. Alexander Ovechkin did not score. He's still 5 away from tying Gretzky, still 6 away from breaking it. Kirill Kaprizov started skating again. He hasn't played since January 26th with that lower body injury. I guess he still remains week to week, but Zach, at least he's getting closer.
Yes.
But obviously, you mentioned Foligno's back, Brodin's back, so we're getting there. But we need Eriksson Ek, we need Kirill.
Eriksson Ek has skated, you said?
Yes, he started skating as well.
So 9 games to go, and they have a 7-point cushion.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
What really matters, though, is this.
After Germany beat Brazil 7-1 in the 2014 World Cup, poor Pornhub had to issue a plea to people to stop uploading highlights of the match to their site. Apparently, people found a way to share on Pornhub without getting in trouble. Pornhub was like, this place is for porn.
Please. You were pissed.
I wonder if the joke is that it turns their soccer fans on to see them getting absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
Please.
I wonder.
Do you not know why we invented this for you?
It sounds like you wrote a letter.
Hey, don't kink shame.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the soccer injuries, in quotations, are just as realistic as someone getting their arms stuck in the couch.
Brilliant. Great line.
The Cardinals beat the Twins 5-3. That was the season opener for the Minnesota Twins. They are 0-1 and are behind the White Sox in the standings. The game started after about an hour and a half or so delay, give or take. And
then another hour of pregame festivities.
Oh, man.
That was ridiculous.
The Cardinals led 4-0 after 3, but the Twins put up 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th to cut it to a 4-3, but little insurance run later. Final 5-3. Pablo Lopez, not great. Our guy Ryan Jeffers went 1 for 4. Barnick went 2 for 3. Twins are 0-1.
The top of the lineup, 1, 2, 3, went 0 for 12.
That's great.
Yeah. Good start.
What really matters, though, is this.
It's about time. I can't believe we didn't know this, but for all of you gentlemen out there who feel you've been forgotten.
Oh, no.
There's a Titanic monument in D.C., funded by women, to honor the men of the Titanic who died so women and children could go first.
It's Rosie's favorite.
Only 20% of the men survived. Over 70% of the women and ungrateful children survived.
Yes.
Back when chivalry was a thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know what? I got to tell you, that's real chivalry.
It is.
Because you're going to die.
Yeah, it's over.
And again, we've discussed this. There was room on that door for Rose wanted the whole thing to herself.
Yeah, he'd had enough of her, though.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, he talked her out of
He got what he wanted from
He
her.
inspected the merchandise and came away thinking it was probably better to be dead.
No.
Join Muss and Miller Lite on the Titanic.
Brilliant.
Man, I wonder if I can find this quickly.
There was a recent post that's
what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
it's really funny.
See if I can find it here.
Is it about Muss and Miller
No, it's
Lite?
basically talking about how the real villain is Rose. How she spends 80 years having a diamond or whatever that's worth $250 million, and she throws it into the ocean over a 3-night affair that she had decades ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact way they worded it, but it's pretty funny if you look at it like that. But
she's a monster.
The big thing that I never thought of before was the $250 million pendant that she just, despite, she could have given it to the guy who brought her out there, the amount of money and resources it takes to find the damn thing.
Her sweet and sexy niece or whatever who brought her out there.
Yeah.
Probably could have used $800 million.
Yeah. And I thought about, too, Jack's family probably also poor like him.
Yeah.
Probably could have used that.
Kids.
No, he killed the blood. She killed the bloodline of that family.
Yeah. She's the worst.
Yeah.
Trifling.
Here we go. Maturity is realizing that in the film Titanic, Rose throws away a $250 million pendant in memory of an unemployed man she slept with exactly once, a man who never even owned the necklace. She completely disregards the fact that explorer who brought her to the wreck had built his entire career finding that necklace. Yet
Brilliant.
She held on to it for decades on the off chance that she'd end up at the wreck site again just to chuck it into the ocean for no good reason and croaks in his bed.
brilliant.
Then goes and waltzes past her husband in the afterlife to meet up with her 3-day fling.
That's
meanwhile,
great, man.
That's so good.
Meanwhile, she conveniently leaves out the part where she let Jack, the 3-day love of her life, freeze to death because she couldn't scoot over a bit on the giant door. Oh, and maybe, just maybe, her husband of many years might have liked to know that she'd been hanging on to that $250 million necklace all that time. How about her granddaughter who was caring for her in early retirement fund? Anyone? The real villain of Titanic, ready for it, not Kel, not even the iceberg. It was Rose.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so I think Billy Zane has been vindicated.
Yeah. Billy
like to
Zane
know,
did the right thing.
Now that we say that as well, did she keister that diamond? Where'd she put it when she was on the door?
And helped keep her warm.
I guess it
By
did.
keistering it?
Well, you gotta.
It's uncomfortable.
The old prison wall.
It's worth it. The White Sox, I mentioned that they are ahead of the Twins in the standings. The White Sox over-under for the year is 53.5. Tommy and I bet on it yesterday. 53.5, lowest in baseball.
I guess we're going to have to win the whole GD thing.
Well, they're off to a good start because they won 8-1 over the Angels.
Let's go.
And are 1-0. And a full game ahead of the Minnesota Twins.
Tommy would bet anything. He loves gambling.
Oh, yeah.
I texted him the score yesterday. I go, 8-1. I go, we're on pace for 162. And he goes, I'm bleeped. H-A-H-A-H-A-H-A-H-A-H-A-H-A-H-A.
Oh.
H. What really matters is
was he a lifetime?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Were his hands vibrating?
Jeez.
I don't get that one.
Oh. Your turn.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to figure out what he just said.
I don't know really either.
Where's hands vibrating? Isn't
you said it?
Yeah, but
you said it as if you were confused by what somebody said.
No. I get it.
Wasn't the story that he told? I didn't get
Can we turn the mics off for 2 seconds?
I didn't get the impression that it was a vibrating one.
Oh, well, it's a.
Yeah, but I got the sense that it was not an electric one.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right.
So there
I
wouldn't
got
be
the
any.
sense that it was.
No, I think the rest of us thought it was not.
Oh.
That's why none of us understood what the hell you were talking about.
Okay, sorry.
That would be a bad idea.
Yeah, I would think.
I would think so.
The whole thing's a bad idea.
It sure is. Not a great idea all the way around.
One way or the other, it doesn't work out.
Right.
Good news is he's growing up and only says this stuff off air now.
True.
Yeah, and our listeners love that.
I mean, we basically said it on the air.
Corey,
pretty much.
Didn't you take sign language?
For 2 years, yes. At the University of Minnesota, you have to take a second language if you're getting a liberal arts degree. And I absolutely did. So sure.
If your education was worth a damn, then you know that sign language has tongue twisters. Do you know what they're called?
I don't remember.
Finger fumblers.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, you've Googled that.
Well, I definitely did some of that earlier on. You just don't know what you're doing, you know?
I think Brazzers owns the URL to that.
Yeah, that might be copyrighted.
Were they vibrating finger fumblers?
But see, that's not out of the question when it comes to him.
No,
right?
it's not.
That's why I thought
I don't think anything's out of the question when it comes to him.
Yeah.
Anything within an arm's reach.
No.
So, Vibrating Finger Fumblers, the title of the podcast?
Yes. Leader in the clubhouse with 26
and
minutes to
Miller
go.
Lite inside Tommy's sphincter.
More filling.
Oh, gross.
Tastes yucky.
Doesn't taste great.
That is yucky.
Doesn't taste great. Nope.
Yep.
Finger fumbler.
Gross. The Wolves host Phoenix tonight at 7 o'clock. The Wolves are 41-32. They are 8th in the West, half game behind Golden State and the Clippers. The Golden State Warriors are at New Orleans tonight. The Clippers are at Brooklyn. Minnesota does not face either of those two teams the rest of the regular season. However, if we're looking ahead, those two teams, the Warriors and the Clippers, play each other the final game of the regular season. So one of them is going to win the last game. So if we're down all the way to the wire, somebody's guaranteed to win on April 13th. So we got to get moving here.
It's time to unass.
Yes.
It's the most frustrating team.
Correct.
Last year was so fun.
Yep.
Anthony Edwards, God bless him, amazing player, but is the most frustrating superstar I think this market has ever had.
Cat was way more frustrated than Ant. Cat frustrated the hell out of all of us.
He frustrated the hell out of me.
Yeah.
But he was what he was.
Ant will be up for
still
tonight's
has
game.
Ant can get better. We knew Cat couldn't at that point, that he was frustrating. So it was more of just shut up, you're not helping yourself, quit whining, quit complaining all the time. Edwards, it's something different it's heaving up a million three-pointers when you just don't have it.
Let's hope he's a playoff guy, though. Let's hope that he's one of those guys that can flip it on during the postseason and that he's just kind of half bored, which is not cool, but
it's
still
unacceptable. Like, Common has been pounding on it for weeks. Whoa. He's right.
Yeah, but let's see if this team turns into last year's team, that the pumpkin / carriage kind of situation happens, that we get into the postseason and everybody's at an 11. If they're not, we can rip the hell out of them. But let's see if they can transform once they get there.
Yeah.
Fingers are fumbled.
They're fumbled.
Yeah. Brilliant.
What really matters is this.
Minnie Mouse, her first name is not Minnie. Minnie is short for Minerva.
Wasn't that an initials clue?
I don't remember. Maybe.
And where did they get that name?
I don't know. Walt Disney and iWorks came up with it.
Sounds like an
As
STD.
they were doing some finger fumbling.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you
had that.
He did, for sure.
So did Hogs.
You have Minerva.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, not again.
Yeah.
Here's the list of people I've slept with. Gotta start calling.
At my annual physical last week, the doctor, very funny. Like, he's not a funny guy. He's just very serious. But I always try and lighten the mood.
Sure.
And I needed a refill I get cold sores like 3 times a year, whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's just oral herpes, right? And I said, for now. And I pointed at him.
Brilliant.
And he did this uncomfortable laugh where he did not think I was kidding.
Oh, my God.
Brilliant.
He thought you were threatening to spread herpes to other places of your body
Just
and
like
the rest
my
of the
dad.
Twin Cities.
My dad didn't have herpes, but he threatened to spread STDs around the Twin Cities if they didn't let him in the red door to get a shot.
That's how you got to roll with it, man.
Yeah.
You know what?
Take it with force. They said, all right, Mr. Creasel, come on in.
Yeah.
Come on in here and stop your finger fumbling for a moment.
More of What Really Matters after this on The Fan.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
Hey, join me next week at Wild Bill's in Woodbury for our final regular season Bud Light Wild Watch Party. That is next Monday at Wild Bill's in Woodbury. Be there at 6 o'clock to watch Wild in action and to sign up for your chance to qualify for first round playoff tickets this year. Get the full details at KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Awesome. It's a fun spot when you're not wearing a donkey costume like when I was there.
Zach,
or maybe it's more fun. Maybe. Depending on your...
Zach, you're insecure, and I don't know what for. You're turning heads when you walk through the door.
Hot cut.
I am.
You know that song?
I do. Oh, gosh. Is that... Are you in One Direction?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
You're insecure. Oh, gosh. Great times.
Great oldies.
July 25th, 2015, man. We're going to be 9 years.
It's a day that will live in infamy.
Is that when you got too stoned? Had to go to the hospital?
Well, no. Yeah. Actually, technically, yeah. But what a night, man.
Technically.
Well,
You
urgent.
went to
it was urgent care.
Yeah.
But they still gave me the old chest x-ray.
Were they like, nice?
Yeah.
But that's what makes you beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Whoa.
Need to take a lap? Or you good?
Need Tommy's razor?
I just...
let's do more of what really matters.
Occam's razor, only dirtier.
Oh.
Well, definitely go straight to the point, though. Shortest possible path. I'll do scores and stats. You change everybody else's life with something else.
Poor Occam.
Damn near killed him.
How's he going to shave himself now?
Oh, my God.
Oh, no. What's he texting?
We're just getting texts now. No. Gross.
Come on.
He's greasy.
Come on, man.
I mean, hey, just be you, I guess, right?
Amen.
NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said that the All-Star Game mini tournament this year, quote, was a miss and will not return in 2026. Here's another quote that I love. We're not there in terms of creating an all-star experience that we can be proud of and our players can be proud of. Like when commissioners or GMs or coaches almost always speak 99.9% of the time, it's company line, it's boring, it's like predictable, it's, yep, they have to say this. It's not super common that a commissioner just flat out admits, we're not doing this well, and this is a disaster. Using things like that was a miss and we're not proud of this and we're not at the place where we're proud of this, that's kind of awesome.
It's a step in the right direction. But if he said anything but that, people go crazy.
For sure, but we
this
can't.
Was such a miss.
But we talk about this all the time. Like, the sports media begs for somebody to say something unique, and then when they do, you hammer them for being an idiot, for admitting honesty. I like that this is the right answer.
100%.
That the All-Star Game in the NBA is an embarrassment. It's a disaster. They have to do something about it. Like you just said, if he said anything else, he'd be lying to us and himself. But I like that he just flat out said, we have to fix it because this ain't it, and we don't know what it is. By the way, here's the next catch. So he said that it's not going to be back in 2026, this little mini tournament. Next year's game is right in the middle of the Winter Olympics. So one of the thoughts is that somehow, even though it's not the Olympics, that's a Winter Olympics, and this is a summer sport, that maybe a four nations kind of a thing, or at least a U.S. versus the world game might be the play, because I believe the game's also on NBC and the Olympics are on NBC. I think that's correct. I think they're both on NBC next year. Either way.
Man, how's that going to work?
Now,
I don't know.
Do you think, though, I think it kind of ended up being the perfect storm. If it wasn't for the Four Nations thing being such a smashing success this year, right around the time that the NBA All-Star situation was a flop, do you think he says this was a miss? Do you think that they're proposing the changes that they are? Or, because of the stark contrast, I think that had something to do with it, don't you?
Maybe. Probably, actually. But we'll see if they come up with something creative in the next 12 months.
I hope so.
Why not crowdsource it? Why not put instead of giving $1 million to whoever dunks the ball the best, right? How about saying, we need a new idea, $1 million if you're the person in Kansas City that just comes up with something. Send us your best ideas. Whatever one we go with, we'll give you $1 million.
Who's got the job, though, to review every submission? You could use some AI, probably, but it's basketball's
have some intern do it.
Basketball's one of the only sports that you can kind of give your best effort or near your best effort in the game without risk of massive injury like you would in an NFL Pro Bowl actual game, NHL. So that's where it's so frustrating watching them just loaf and goof around. There's definitely a better way.
What really matters is the following.
Tiramisu translates to take me to heaven in Italian.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You guys like that stuff?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all right.
Of course.
Wouldn't be my first choice in a dessert, but yeah.
Would it be your second choice?
No.
Would it be your third choice?
No.
Would it make your top 4?
Probably not.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Or we're gone.
Please.
Would it be number 5?
I could see that.
Okay.
I like that shirt, by the way, Chris.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah,
It's a Friday shirt.
handsome blouse.
Friday shirt. Thank you.
I like your blouse.
I like your panties.
Thanks.
What?
So I'm on your floor.
Your shirt looks like Muss's thought bubbles.
Looks like Muss's front seat.
Man, Muss is taking a lot of shrapnel today.
Yes, he is.
Such a nice guy, and he's sitting at home going, son of a bitch, what did I do?
Isn't this the week he's getting a bunch of, exams?
Yeah, today he's getting his sphincter cleaned.
Yeah. Cleaned?
Well, yeah, he cleaned it out.
Yeah.
And then take a look at it. The guy who named Kentucky Bluegrass, why didn't anybody correct him?
Yeah.
On the color?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know. Like, should we call this green grass? No.
No. Oh, there's blue.
Or he walked in on a gal named Kentucky and a dude named Grass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well played.
All right. I see where you're going from. Maybe that's it.
He just was reporting the news.
Yeah, right.
John, that's what we call a stretch.
Yeah.
Did she also fry chicken?
Ooh, I hope so. I want some fried chicken right now.
Who doesn't? I mean, outside of Muss, who's getting his colon cleaned.
Yeah.
In which order did she do it?
Let's hope it was chicken second.
Yeah. Yeah. Now go make me something to eat.
Go fix Daddy a sandwich.
Yeah.
Brush your teeth.
Brush your teeth.
I wonder how many times in the history of hockey this has happened. I mean, this is a massive score. Did you guys see the Lightning and Utah score last night? 8-0.
Yeah. Go Lightning.
I wonder how many times that has been a score in the history of the NHL. Not just the 8, but the fact that it's an 8-0 shutout. That's a monster score for the Tampa Bay Lightning. They scored 2 in the first, 4 in the second, and 2 more in the third.
I have not seen that.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said.
Well, you know that wasn't an empty netter.
I don't think so. What really matters, though, is this.
Buttermilk does not contain any butter. The butter in the name refers to the origins of the drink.
So buttermilk pancakes are incredible, of course.
Incredible.
Do they, are there other breakfast foods made with buttermilk that I have not?
Biscuits.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, those are good.
Biscuits.
I don't know why I said
French
it.
toast.
Thanks, Foghorn Leghorn.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, do they make French toast or
biscuits?
buttermilk waffles? I don't know.
Buttermilk.
Well, yeah, waffles are.
Biscuits are A+.
I think so. Forget.
Yeah.
I'm not a big breakfast guy.
Oh,
really?
Are you nuts?
Oh, breakfast is the best.
I mean,
It's the best one.
I love a croissant.
Oh, yeah.
But
Wow,
yeah,
I haven't
I'm
had
not
one
a
of those in
huge.
years.
Why?
If I eat breakfast, then I'm not hungry at lunch, and then I'll skip it and I'll just do dinner.
Skip lunch.
No.
Eat breakfast.
I like
shocking.
I like to eat all 3 meals.
Surprised you haven't added a 4th or 5th second
Yes,
breakfast
he
like
likes
Lord of the
brunch as
Rings.
well.
Yeah.
You like brunch as well?
But I lost my eating buddy like 10 years ago, hockey. We no longer go downstairs after we've eaten pizza that was up here and had burritos.
For brunch.
For some odd reason, I've decided to live a little longer.
The Champagner brunch at
Brilliant.
Baldemar,
Oh, yeah?
unstoppable.
Really?
It's like $100, maybe a little more.
You
It's
have to
all you can eat for like 2 hours, but all you can drink also.
Ooh.
So you got to Uber there.
That's greasy.
And they have they're great cocktails. There's a list you can choose from. You can do some damage.
Do you have to be a Slytherin to get in there?
Slytherin.
No, it's
Anybody?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
It's a Harry Potter reference. What's the name of the restaurant again?
Baldemar.
Now I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great spot.
Genius.
Sauce,
Yeah,
if you
great.
love brunch so much, why don't we go today?
Brunch is on the weekends.
Yeah.
Love us
It
on the
is.
weekends.
The
Love on
Champagner
the
Saturday or
When
Sunday.
he brought that up, I literally was like,
You know.
Yeah, Captain Corner Me is going to
Yep.
say something.
Captain Corner Me.
Well,
By
he's
the
good
way,
at
did
that.
you know brunch was invented as a way to cure hangovers?
I mean, yeah, makes sense. Greasy food and more booze.
That's basically exactly what this says.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, again, even 20 plus years ago, whenever I got really S-faced, the idea of waking up and drinking to either cure the problem or to start over, I was never let's get hammered 2 or 3 or 4 days in a row. I couldn't do it.
Whenever I
go
got
all out once.
S-faced,
Yep.
I always said, "Who's been using my razor?"
Oh, my. He's going to.
The one time I got S-faced, I'm like, I am never nursing for John Creasel again. Why do I work at Walter Reed?
Right.
Man.
Yeah. Brunch is good. Yeah.
The Champagner.
God, you love eating.
I do.
Yeah.
I can't help it. It's a problem of mine.
No, you're fine.
We should do a power trip Champagner. It will never happen because I know that you
Of
guys
course
won't.
not, no.
But a few of us should.
I would
It's
go.
worth it. Hell yeah.
Yeah. That's a great restaurant.
It's
Yeah, I've
so
been there.
good.
Yeah. I don't know why. Sometimes I say things, I'm like, this is not helping the show.
But it is.
I'm not smart.
The Sweet 16 continues tonight at 6:09. Number 2 Michigan State takes on number 6 Mississippi. Then at 6:39, you got number 2 Tennessee versus number 3 Kentucky. And then the 2 night games are the number 1 teams. Number 1 Auburn versus number 5 Michigan, and number 1 Houston versus number 4 Purdue. So we're almost there.
Yeah. Let's see here. Go Florida. We need Florida to win the whole
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I need Purdue to beat Houston. It's the only
Boiler up.
It's the only 1 seed I don't have.
Boiler up.
With Corliss.
It's a trap.
What really matters is this.
Apparently, pigeons cannot fart.
Wow. Why?
Their intestine is short.
It'll just spray poop.
That's right. Yeah.
Hot. That's Hawkstad's favorite bird.
Is it?
I mean, I had to say something.
You didn't have to.
Cory
Like that bit
me.
where the dudes dipped the fries in laxative on the beach. Did you see that?
No.
Tons of them. Dipped them in laxative, dumped it on the beach, and the pigeons just absolutely went crazy.
Hawkstad sunbathed on that beach.
Or those might be seagulls. They're different. Never mind.
Yeah, so
okay.
you didn't have to add anything. Didn't have to.
I like that he did.
Yeah.
It's okay to just listen. You don't have to add anything.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't know how to listen.
You don't have to be funny, man.
No, that's why I'm here. I have no other skill.
You suck.
Oh,
Jesus.
yeah. Jesus is right.
Oh, good. I'm glad you believe.
Well, when I'm in here with Cory, I believe it even more.
Yes.
Well, that's really nice of you to say. I make you lean into your beliefs even harder.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Then I've done my job.
Well, if there's a devil, there's got to be a God.
Yeah, and also with you, beady eyes.
My plan is working perfectly. Yeah. Former Iowa coach Fran McCaffrey got hired by Penn. Apparently he played there like 9 decades ago. He's 65. Yeah, I guess so.
He's not 65.
Yeah, exactly. I thought he'd be at least like 75-ish, somewhere in his mid-70s. He's 65, I guess.
Yeah, good for him.
What really matters, though, is this.
This is something that makes complete sense I never thought of. Pineapples are named after pine cones because of their similarity in skin.
Mm-hmm.
Never knew that.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Makes sense, right?
Sauce, you have nothing to add?
No, I don't want to make poop jokes.
It's okay to just listen. You don't have to add anything.
Yeah, see?
You have no thoughts on pineapples or pine cones or the fact that they were named after pine cones?
I mean,
are you pro pineapple?
I like pineapple. Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
You'd like to have some pineapple?
My wife likes when I eat it.
I've been told. I wonder if that's true. I do. I wonder if that's true.
Let me ask her.
Please do.
The news is next. Marnie Gellner should be here in like 20 minutes. Parrish in a little bit as well. Toby Gardenhire of the St. Paul Saints and Derek Scherer, also of the Saints, are going to be here in about 30 minutes. Toby will play initials at 8:15. Make his initials debut. He's been asking, I guess, for a couple of years. I think he can play. We'll see. We'll see. And one of you has a crack at $87,500. Think about that. $87,500. Somebody could win that with the St. Paul Federal Credit Union initials jackpot a little over an hour from now. One more segment with John Creasel after this on The Fan.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.